I'm Kim from KimberlyKoehler.com, and I teach jewelry making and creativity and art journaling over at my website. And I have a free mini e-course. It's called the Inspired Mini E-Course, and I created it kind of as a little taste for my full e-course. It's just called Inspired E-Course. But what it is you get a creativity booster, a art journal prompt to make an art journal page, and then we pull the inspiration from the art journal page to create and design our own custom personalized jewelry. And so we sketch jewelry designs. I also teach a full jewelry tutorial, and my hope is that you'll be designing your own jewelry, but you can use the tutorial as inspiration, or if you want to use some of the techniques or something like that and change it to make it your own. So while I was putting together this free mini e-course, I remembered I did this ritual, this letting go ritual, and it fit perfectly into the e-course, but I wanted to do it separately. It's not in the e-course, this is just a separate thing, and so I am sharing that with you today. So what I mean by a ritual is just something you do with intention and meaning to kind of symbolize something else. So I have a quote. This is a quote from Francis Weller, and it's, "Rituals are intended to take us into those places where we can engage with the difficulties in our lives in ways that are potentially transformative, into territories of fresh living." So that's kind of what I see this ritual as. You're kind of letting go of things that aren't serving you and hopefully making a transformation. So I'm going to share the ritual I did, and I'm going to show you what exactly the steps I took, but I really encourage you to create your own ritual for letting go if there are things that you want to let go of. This was meaningful for me. It involves nature, which is very important to me, and I'm a big believer in the ways that nature can transform you, but that might not be meaningful for you, so you might want to think about other ways that you could do a similar ritual and let go of some things. So I'm going to share with you my steps. So step 1, kind of step 1A, is journaling. So my first step for basically anything in my life is to journal. When I wake up in the morning, I journal. When I have to make a decision, I journal. When I'm feeling stuck or unhappy, I journal. I write it down. And I think journaling is an important part of this process, so you can get all your thoughts, feelings that you want to let go kind of down. In fact, this part is so important to me that I think you could actually just do this and be able to let go of things. So I'll tell you exactly what I did. I'm not going to actually show you what I wrote because it's pretty personal. So first I just wrote things I want to let go of, and then I wrote the first thing that came to mind. So whatever that first thing was for me. And then I kind of described it and why I wanted to let go of it, and kind of how it would change my life for the better if I let go of it. I also took it a step further and tried to think of a few action steps I could take to help me let go of that particular thing. So this process took a little bit of time. It was totally rewarding and totally worth it, and I have some actual steps I can take after this whole letting go ritual to move forward and try to change my life in the way I want it to. You know, I want to let go of these things for a reason. So the first step is to actually feel like I'm letting them go, but then I need to actually do something to take action to let it go. So then step 1B, we could call it, I kind of just went back through my journal and circled things that I truly want to let go of. So for example, one thing I wrote was about overspending to give myself a pick-me-up when I'm either feeling lonely or depressed. And actually journaling, I figured out that's why I'm doing it sometimes. It's because either I'm feeling lonely or depressed. So just that awareness is helpful itself, which the journaling helped with. But in that section of journaling, I also mentioned self-sabotage. So I also circled that as something that I most definitely want to let go of. So even though it's not the heading on that page, it's something that came up within the journaling. So that is something I want to let go of. So that's kind of the second part. If you kind of go through and just see if there's anything else that stands out to you. I just took a highlighter, circled things. Once you've got this all journaled out and you've circled things and decided what it is you truly want to let go of, then it's time to go gather some natural materials. So here are my leaves. These are kind of old and brittle. They don't work that great for writing on, but it's more symbolic than anything, so don't worry about that too much. So I have taken a word for each of the things I want to let go and have written it on my leaves, and I just used a Sharpie. So some of them are a little frail, like I mentioned before. You can see the light through this one, the holes, and as I was writing I poked more holes in it. But you only really need to be able to know what it says for yourself. It doesn't even have to say a word. You can just use a symbol if you like. I just like to take a moment before I release the leaf and really think about it and think about that I'm, letting this go. So it's really just there for yourself, obviously. This is a personal thing that you don't need to share with anybody. So how it is on the leaf doesn't matter as long as it reminds you. So the final step is to just kind of go for a walk in nature. I'm just going to tell you about this part. I'm going to try to film it while I'm there, but it just started either raining or snowing here, so I'm a little concerned how a video is going to show up. So I'll try to do my best to do that, but I'm just going to tell you now so you have the idea. Just take a deep breath. Choose one of your items you're letting go of, and you're going to release them one by one into the creek while concentrating on letting go of whatever that you're symbolizing. So this one I picked up as self-sabotage, and so I will just take a moment, take a deep breath, and think about letting that go. If you're using dried leaves, like I am, you could even crumble them as you release them into the water. Just love the idea of water just being transformative and taking it away. If that's not an option for you, you can always bury the natural materials and kind of let the ground transform them. So after that, that's the end of the ritual. And you could take more time to journal afterwards, kind of your thoughts and feelings some more if you like, and process it in whatever way you need to. Here I am at the creek, and I'm not that far from civilized society, so I feel a little bit uncomfortable talking, but it's good to face your fears, right? So the first thing I do is pick a leaf. I'm picking this self-sabotage. I'm going to take a deep breath. And now I'm going to crumble this up and just let it fall and let it go. Just watch it, the water take it away. And you just repeat for all the leaves you have. Remembering, like I almost did not, take a deep breath and think about what you're letting go.